we're going to respond to this Reddit post. This one today is, how do I, 27 female, deal with boyfriend 29 males, low libido? We have been together for almost 2 years, and it's been an issue at first because he kept saying he's just shy and that he finds me very attractive. Now, it hasn't changed since. We have sex about once a month, and I'm always the one to initiate. In other areas, we harmonize well and we are in love. It's just that sometimes when I'm next to him, I feel sexually frustrated. It's not like I can just start things frequently when he might not be in the mood. The thought of being creepy terrifies me. Okay, that's interesting.
Just have a talk about that.
Why is it? Okay. I have tried talking to him a couple times, but it's a sensitive topic, and I don't want to hurt his feelings. That's weird. He says it's been an issue in his past relationships as well, and he keeps saying he enjoys sex when we have it and how attractive he finds me. This is great, of course, but it doesn't really help me since nothing changes afterwards. I enjoy our sex as well when we have it. He's an attractive guy and the person I love. We are both monogamous minded. We want to get married and have kids in the future. When searching online for advice, most of the stuff that comes up seems to be geared towards men whose girlfriends' wives have low libido, with tips on how to get to know your partner on a deeper level or do more around the house. I think none of it applies to our situation because our relationship feels stable and good in every other way. It doesn't seem like a medical issue to me either. I'm a nurse. We are planning to move in together. Do I try to tone down my wants a bit? Talk again.
Maybe he's asexual and just doesn't know it.
Yeah, I think a lot of men are asexual and they just don't talk about it. It's not talked about.
Yeah, because it's not even presented like as an option.
No,
for
not at all. I would ask like she feels weird about it, which is bad. It's like you should be comfortable talking about sex with your partner all the time. Like it shouldn't be a weird thing, or you shouldn't feel creepy about it. It should just be a normal thing you talk about in terms of your
relationship. Like, you know, who's gonna do the dishes?
Yeah,
take out the trash.
It's part of the relationship. So, like you just have the conversation. You maybe set up like we talk about sex once a month, every 2 weeks, whatever. Once a week, we have a conversation about sex, and you tell him straight up, be like, "I need more sex. You don't want you. This is something that happens in the past. You had this happen before, so this is a normal thing for you to have a low libido, but." For me, I have a higher libido, and for me to be happy, we have to have more sex. So what do you need to do so that we have more sex? Either like that's not going to make you uncomfortable, or maybe you don't want to have penetrative sex, so maybe we have to have oral sex, or you have to use toys on me or something like that. But we need to have more sex, like so that I can feel fulfilled, and I need you to initiate that sex. Like, of course, maybe it's planned, right? Like.
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday night at 9 p.m. we're having sex, but you need to start it. Like you need to I want you to do the
maybe
things.
He needs an assignment.
Yes.
You know, maybe you just can't leave it open ended. And maybe it's just like too much pressure for him, or he feels uncomfortable for some reason, and he just needs a prompt.
And if it's like to a point where he like you maybe you have more conversations and he's like, I actually don't even want to have sex, and that's an important conversation to have, because if he's like, no, I don't even feel comfortable having more sex, then it's like, will this relationship work then, right? Like if you got to be on the same page, because it might be he has a low libido but he's willing to have more sex, it's just he's not willing to initiate it, right? So or
maybe you know, she's saying that she feels creepy initiating, but maybe he's waiting for her to initiate, and she just needs to get over the feeling creepy factor.
Very much so. Like a lot of times I think that some men are like submissive, and like that's like a weird thing to admit because of masculinity politics and stuff like that, and it's like they want their woman to be more dominant. They want them to be initiating. That would turn him on, maybe that you're doing more things
in the closet.
Like it's like there's so many things here. Also, she's saying it's not a medical issue, but we don't know that.
We don't know that.
Has his testosterone been checked? Like, does he have low testosterone?
Maybe it is a medical issue. You never know until he goes to
endocrinologist.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of reasons, but I would say the thing that you have to do, obviously, is just talk to each other frankly and often about like what your needs and wants are. And what your expectations are. Like, obviously, she wants something traditional. She wants a man to initiate the sex, and well, if you don't tell him that, then how does he know that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, just talk about it.
She's waiting for him to initiate, and he's waiting for her to initiate, and so then they're just neither one is it's getting any.
And this doesn't, like, you got to do this, but you're talking about moving in and getting married and having kids. You can't be doing that and not have this conversation before.
Adding children to this mix is going to make it even more frustrating because you guys are going to be exhausted.
Yep. And having way less sex than this.
Yeah.
So, let's look at the comments as we do. All right, this person says, when you initiate, does he turn you down? Why can't you start things frequently? How do you know he isn't in the mood? Is it coming down to you not wanting to have to initiate it all the time? Maybe that's just who he is, someone who doesn't initiate. Is this something you want to be with? Maybe come around to being the initiator if he is open to it. I read this book once, and it talks about how everyone has a sexual gas pedal and sexual brakes. Maybe he has a stiff gas pedal, and maybe he has no brakes. I'd recommend Come As You Are. Yeah, maybe both of you read it. In my opinion, I would just make it happen when you want it to happen. I would just be direct and say something along the lines like, hey, babe, I want you to fuck me now or in the next little bit. I would absolutely love that. And give a kiss and an ass squeeze while you tell him what you want. But yeah, he could just be jerking off a lot, looking at porn, or is bored and too comfortable, or doesn't know what he wants, or can't communicate what he wants. He could just not be into you, like he says. Could be a lot of things. Maybe think about therapy for you, him, and both. I agree with a lot of this. Original poster writes, someone who doesn't initiate rings very true. We went on a summer trip where I initiated almost every day and he never turned me down. I think I have a preconception that wanting to have sex directly translates into openly expressing that to your partner. It probably isn't like that for him. Yeah.
He just wants you to initiate.
Yeah.
As if he's never turned you down, it's like, well, then what's the problem?
There's no problem here. You are the problem. You need to get over your traditional ideas of like how sex is supposed to happen, and also have a conversation with him. Like, just ask him, be like, hey, I noticed that when I initiate, you're always down to have sex, but you never initiate. Is that like you prefer that? Like, is that what you prefer?
Just ask.
Is that like that's what I'm picking up? Is that what you're putting down? We could do that. It's very straightforward. Just have a fucking conversation. All right. This poster says, guys very often get bored of sex once the challenge mystique has worn off. Plus, at a certain point, they're in the relationship to fulfill emotional, not sexual needs. He doesn't have the libido, probably watches a lot of porn. The Dead Bedroom sub here has 500K members. Yeah. That's pretty harsh words. I don't know if that's true, but that's what this person says. Original poster writes, neither of us watches porn, and if it were boredom on his side, there would have been a point somewhere in the beginning of the relationship where it would have been different, no?
Not necessarily. Maybe you should both start watching porn.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's true too. I was like, if you're both not watching porn, I would say, yeah, that might help too.
If he's never turned her down, then it sounds like she has more of a mental hang up
about it. Yeah.
About it. And, yeah.
Yeah. I would agree.
You guys need to talk more.
Just have more conversations.
Yeah.
Like an honest conversation. And she wrote that she feels creepy about bringing stuff up. I'm like, what is that?
Why?
The thought of
That's
being
so
creepy
weird.
terrifies me. What does that even mean? Like, you're 50% in this relationship. You want sex. Why would you feel creepy? I don't get it.
I don't know. It sounds like maybe she's got some weird mental hang-ups about things.
Maybe this is a heterosexual thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, women, you can initiate sex. It's not a one-sided
yeah,
thing.
no.
It's weird.
That doesn't make you creepy.
That might be turning him on. He's like,
yeah.
Oh my God, yes, I love when she does that. It's great. I feel wanted. Anywho, girl, talk to your man. Talk to your man. Ask direct questions. And go from there. That's our opinion. Thanks for watching.